The jury is seated and testimony is underway in the trial of Raymond Rogers. Rogers is facing 4 charges, including murder.
This all comes after he allegedly shot his ex-girlfriend and her boyfriend at the time and then turned the gun on himself. KTIV's Jacqueline Aragon recaps the first day of the trial.
My parents okay? Is he gone? Is he gone?
No, he's not, but I need you to come with me.
Is he still alive? Is he gonna shoot me?
No, I'm with you. I'm with you, okay?
Okay.
During day 1 of the Raymond Rogers trial, we heard from 5 different witnesses. Prosecutors played multiple 911 calls and body cam footage, including this one.
Oh, there's somebody on the floor bleeding.
You are hearing and seeing the moments as Woodbury County deputies entered a home just outside of Sergeant Bluff and saw 2 people shot and injured, Ashley Rogers and Raymond Rogers.
Is there anybody else in the house? Yeah. Where?
Ashley also took the stand and spoke to her relationship with Raymond leading up to the incident.
I got a text message saying that I was a horrible person. Bad things are going to happen.
The trial stems from a situation in February of 2023 when authorities say that Raymond Rogers shot his ex-wife, Ashley Rogers, and her then-boyfriend, Gerald Jones.
And all of a sudden I heard gunshots and I thought it was just a movie. And I heard us say, call 911.
Jones's 11-year-old son was in the house hiding in his room when shots rang out just a room away. He managed to call 911. After officers got on scene, they removed the child from the home. Ashley Rogers was treated for multiple gunshot wounds, and Raymond Rogers was also taken to a local hospital for treatment. Both survived. Gerald Jones died at the scene. Rogers is facing 4 charges: first-degree murder, attempted murder, stalking, and burglary. In Sioux City, Jacqueline Aragon, KTIV News 4.
Testimony in that trial resumes tomorrow at 9 a.m.